Yo, good morning. I want to talk about spending time with God and maybe the law of attraction. Let's see. And so, spending time with God, in the Bible, it literally says it's a sin to be anxious, worried, doubtful, in disbelief, etc., etc. So, we have to stay in positive expectation and belief. And I feel that law of attraction and believing in God has so much in common. I'm not saying it's the same. I'm not saying what is right, what is wrong, none of that. I'm just saying there are similarities. And spending time with God, for me, as soon as I consciously decide to spend time with God, which I do a lot, like, a lot doesn't mean something because I don't know what is a lot, but it feels a lot to me. Like, I do it daily and I do it whenever I feel like it because it makes me feel good. So when I spend time with God, it basically is similar to being in the sun. There is the sun in the sky and it sends down these sun rays and they touch you and you feel good emotions in your body when they touch you. And spending time with God, whenever I spend time with God, I feel Him up there, I see Him up there, not as a picture, but like there's maybe like a symbol for Him. There's like a circle there with a little picture, but I never really look at it consciously. And He's just above, let's say like this. He is above there, and when I spend time with Him, I become happy. I become more happy than I am when I'm doing things or doing stuff. When I consciously spend time with Him, I become more happy, and His good energy is constantly flowing down to me. And there is the similarity again between God, believing in God, and law of attraction. Because in law of attraction, we are advised to stay in a good vibration, and spending time with God gets me in a very good vibration, very good. Because when I practice law of attraction, I would focus on a positive thought or a positive image or someone that I love and someone who has good energy, and I would feel that person's energy. But God is so... He is not part of the world. God is not in flesh, not in the physical realm. So He is more neutral, let's say. Because He is not physically manifested, focusing on Him is like... How I feel about Him could never change. And I imagine Him, I feel Him as the superior, supreme energy of the universe. Like, the way I imagine God is pure good energy, perfect energy, so to speak. So when I spend time with Him, I just let this positive energy from Him run down to me, and I usually start smiling, being happy, and what I really want to say to you is have complete faith, have maximum faith, period, realizing that all is well and that He is there for you and He is supporting you and He is real, and that everything is wonderful and that you are in paradise and that this life is a gift. This life is like a present. And in your chest you have a treasure, like these. Is it called an allegory? I don't know. I will look up what allegory means exactly. Yeah, so I'd really say spend time with God, spend time with God. And the reason I also make this talk is because in the scripture it so often says pray to God, pray to God, pray to God, and it feels like you have to talk to Him, and that feels like a little, sometimes we want to talk to Him for sure, but spending time with God to me means being with Him. And that's where my past experiences with meditation come in. And there's another similarity again, like from another spiritual practice. And just being with Him, just sitting in His light, or you can do it wherever you are, just feel Him coming into you, His energy coming into you, it's like a meditation to me. It's maybe the best meditation. I have a very, very beloved person that this person has such good energy, so good, so clean, that I like to think of that person, and it feels similar. It feels similar because this person is very, 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 very good. But spending time with God gets me in a higher vibration because He is just perfect. He's perfect, and I cannot get attached to Him. I cannot get attached to Him because He is beyond, so to speak. With the person, you can get attached. You can get, I don't want to say the negative stuff, but you get it. Like that's why I said God feels like He's neutral. He is your safe space. He is your safe space. You can fill yourself up with Him. It's awesome. And have full faith all the time. Have full faith all the time. Everything is fine. Everything always was fine in the past also. And I believe that also the Bible is about having a pure mind. Having a pure mind. That's why they talk about boats in the water, because the water is emotion. And like Peter and the others, they were in the boat, and Jesus, He went to the mountain. He went to the mountain and sat with God, or maybe meditated, or maybe prayed. Like sometimes I feel like prayer means meditation. I don't want to say, I know this is like this is like that. I'm not the kind of person who says, yeah, I know better, and this really prayer means meditation. It's not prayer, like I'd rather look at it multidimensionally and rather look at it from a standpoint of me not knowing. I don't know. I'm just trying to understand my best. But Jesus went to the mountain and He was there in silence. I should look up the Bible verse from Peter, but I don't know what it says, but it also has been translated so many times. Wait, let me look it up. It anyways has been translated so many times. And it has been written by humans. But yeah. Wait, I'm gonna tell you exactly what it says. Peter in the boat. Okay, which page is the... I really like BibleHub.com. Click for the chapter. Okay, here it is. It is Matthew 14:22. Immediately Jesus made the disciples get into the boat and go on ahead of him to the other side, while he dismissed the crowds. After he had dismissed them, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. So by himself to me kind of feels like being alone. That means silence. And went up to the mountain. So you could interpret this as the observer, because the observer consciousness watches from above, or you could see this as the spinal cord, the 33. He went up into his higher chakras, maybe crown chakra, to conversate with God, and has to be in silence so he can consciously speak to God and not being run by his thoughts. When evening came, he was there alone. He was there alone, so he was probably silent. And it took a while. When evening came, he was there alone. Which is also just, it won't take you long to be silent and sitting in God's presence. But the boat was already far from land, buffeted by the waves, because the wind was against it. So the waves, I think the wind might be like thoughts, and the waves from the water, we are the water, and the water means emotions. So the wind is the thoughts, and it stirs up the waves, the emotions. During the fourth watch of the night, what would that mean? Does someone know? The fourth watch of the night. Jesus went out to them walking on the sea. Jesus is walking on the water. He has a pure mind, a silent mind. In spirituality and meditation, they say, imagine your thoughts like ripples on the lake, and when you become calm, the lake is calm. There's no waves. So he would walk on the water. He is above the emotions. He's stronger than all the emotions. When the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were terrified. It's a ghost, they said, and cried out in fear. But Jesus spoke at once. Take courage. It is I. Do not be afraid. Another reminder. Take courage. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Lord, if it is you, Peter replied, command me to come to you on the water. So now Peter wants to overcome his emotions. Come, said Jesus. Then Peter got down out of the boat, and I think the boat is a metaphor for the body, the three lower chakras. Come, said Jesus. Then Peter walked on the water and came toward Jesus. But then he saw the strength of the wind. Wind is the thoughts, the negative thoughts, for example, or any thoughts. He was afraid and beginning to sink, cried out, Lord, save me. Immediately Jesus reached out his hand and took hold of Peter. You little of faith, he said, why did you doubt? So Jesus says it here. Peter is sinking in the water because he had little faith and because he did doubt. So that's related to thinking. And when they had climbed back into the boat, the wind died down. Then those who were in the boat worshipped him, saying, Truly, you are the Son of God. When they had crossed over, they landed at Gennesaret. And when the men of that place recognized Jesus, they sent word to all the surrounding region. People brought all the sick to him and begged him to just let them touch the fringe of his cloak, and all who touched him were healed. So maybe this means when we become like Jesus, we are healed. When we get in touch with Christ consciousness, we are healed. And so I don't know what I was talking about. That's the story of Peter and being above the emotions. So I think it's a lot about having a pure mind or being pretty silent in the mind, because you don't need to think much. And I saw a video yesterday of a guy, and he said, like, everything is frequency, everything is vibration, even presence is a vibration. When you just are in presence, it sends out a signal. Everything sends out a signal. So that's basically it. Like, just sit with God and feel the good energy. Just sit with God, feel the good energy, and when you feel like smiling, smile. And don't be shy of people, be open with people, and let your good energy flow out of your body towards other people, and be open. Like, when you go to church, you will notice that people practice this there. They will stand in front of you, they will look you in the eyes, they will lay hand on you, they will be close, they will be very close. When they speak to you, they will stand very close to you with open posture, turn towards you a lot, and that's great. So when you go anywhere, stay in a positive vibe and let God come through you, let His good energy be inside of you and let it flow out towards people, and be loving and kind with people, and do not judge, because of course they have challenges. So when they are if you are truly open and happy, wherever you go, people will pick up on that. They will see you being happy, they will become happy immediately. Okay, that's all I want to say. Much love, have a nice day, enjoy a nice day. If you have any thoughts, feel free to type in the comments. Try keeping it positive, because if you have like a negative emotion and you ask from that point, it is fine, but for me, I feel like the whole thing about what is happening here is like whatever someone could ask, I would tell them to feel the good energy. Feel the good energy. Let the good energy inside of you. Drop all your past. Drop all the worries. Drop all the thoughts and get into that good energy. That's all you need to know. That's all you need to know. This is the one thing that you need to know. Get into the positive energy. Just get into the positive energy. Hey, much love. Love you so much. Love you so much.